Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Alright, so today I thought I would share with you my top 3 products from each category. I'm going to share them in the order that I apply them to my face. This is going to be a 3-part video. I already recorded most of the video and it was just getting way too long, and I realized, I know some of you say you like longer videos, but no one is going to watch a video that was this long, especially not a beauty video. So I'm going to divide it in half. The first part is going to be my base products, and then the second video is going to be my eye products and then my lip products, and then the third video, which I haven't recorded yet, I was always intending to do this one at a later date. The third one is going to be me using my #1 product from each category in a get ready with me. So the videos, because I already recorded most of it together, I'm going to have to kind of like cut off the intro to the other one and then cut the video down the middle. So there might be like little weird kind of like segues in between this intro and then the video, and then it might kind of like, the outro is going to be a little weird, but I apologize. It was just the best way to separate them so that the videos weren't too long. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share these with you in the order that I apply them to my face. So the first category is primers. Now, honestly, I go through phases with primers where I wear primer every day for a while and then I don't wear primer for quite a while. I'm kind of in the phase right now where I don't really wear primers, but when I do, these are the 2 that I typically will reach for. The first one is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This one's more of a new primer. This is a dupe for the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip, which I also have a small size of that one that I've been using for a couple years. They are pretty comparable. I do like this one a little bit more. Plus it's a lot cheaper, it's only like $5. This one really does grip your makeup. It's a sticky primer, so if you don't like that, you wouldn't like this. But once you apply your makeup, it really does dry down, but it really does grip your makeup to your skin. And this is just really nice. I really enjoyed that one. It is very runny though, so you have to be careful. Like just drip out, you have to try to control. It does have a really nice squeeze, but you do have to really control how much you squeeze out. And then the second one, I would wear this one when I need my makeup to really last in like the elements. If I'm going to be outside in the hot sun all day and sweating, this one really does grip your makeup. It's waterproof. So this is the Catrice Prime and Fine Makeup Transformer Drops. It's waterproof. I think you're supposed to drop this into your foundation and then apply it to your skin. I don't do that. I just put a small amount on my face and then I put my foundation on top, and it works for me. This one really does. It is really waterproof. So when I'm outside at Disney or whatever and I'm sweating, it really does hold my makeup. So I do really like this one. Okay, then for foundations, my top 2, I didn't even have to think about. My third one, I did have to think about. I ended up going with the Wander Beauty Nude Illusion Liquid Foundation. Mine is in the shade Fair. This one is a radiant finish, so I do have to be careful with how I set this because I do have more oily, normal skin. But this one just looks beautiful on the skin. If I set it properly, I don't look oily or greasy. I just look healthy, and it's just really, really nice. It's got a nice doe foot applicator. Now this one I got in an Ipsy box like 2-ish, a little over 2 years ago, I guess. Like right before I got rid of both Ipsy and BoxyCharm. This was one of the products that I got. So would I go out and repurchase this? I don't know. I believe it's like a $40 foundation, and I am very happy with my top 2. So I don't know that I would necessarily need to repurchase this one, but of all the foundations I have now, this is currently my 3rd favorite. Okay, now my top 2, I would 100% repurchase these ones over and over. One of them I've actually repurchased already. These are just the 2 that I love the most with my skin currently. So number 2 is Believe Beauty Skin Finish Foundation. Mine is in the shade Linen. This is a $5 foundation that you get at Dollar General, the one with the yellow sign, not Dollar Tree, Dollar General. This is so beautiful. It comes in a really hefty bottle. It's got a pump. It looks luxurious and it looks beautiful on the skin. It's skin finished, so it's not on my skin. It's not matte, it's not luminous. It just looks like a soft satin matte, looks like natural skin. It's beautiful. It's got a really nice coverage. the way I build it up, it says medium to full coverage. The way I like to wear foundation is more like medium. I'm sure you can build it up, but I don't like to really build up my foundation to full coverage, but it just looks beautiful on the skin. It doesn't settle into fine lines. It doesn't look cakey. It's just beautiful. And for $5, really, really nice. Okay, now my number one foundation is actually newer to me. I've only had this one for about a month, but it is hands down the best foundation I've ever tried on my skin. This is the Nars Soft Matte Complete Foundation. Mine is in the shade Mont Blanc Light 2. This one, so I've been curious about this one since it came out. I want to say it came out 1, maybe 2 years ago, and I'd been really curious about it, but I, never got it until recently. This just looks amazing on the skin. Now, I've heard reviews on this. It either looks amazing or it looks terrible. People either love it or they hate it. I love this. It's got, in case you're curious, it's got a really nice dropper style. Well, I don't like dropper styles, but some people do. It's got a dropper style applicator. This just looks so beautiful on the skin. It doesn't look dry. It doesn't look cakey. It doesn't crease. It doesn't, I can wear this all day long. I want to say this is I think it has claims of 24 hours. It doesn't say on the bottle, but I think on the website it has claims of 16 to 24 hours, something like that. I mean, I don't wear my makeup for that long, but I've worn this all day, and by the end of the night, it still looks amazing. I love this. It looks so good on my skin. When I went to the store to get, to pick my shade, the lady took one look at me and she said, "Oh yeah, you're Mont Blanc Light 2. I was like, okay, took her word. I swatched on my down here. This has to be the perfect shade match I've ever come across in a foundation. So not only does it look amazing, but it's also the perfect shade. Hands down, number one. If I could only repurchase one foundation forever at the moment, this would be it. I love it. Okay, then the next step would be correctors, which again, correctors are like primers. Sometimes I wear them a lot, sometimes I don't wear them at all. I'm currently in the phase where I don't really wear correctors, but when I do, these are the only two that I actually have. No, I do have a third one. I have the Ulta one, but I really don't wear that one. I could probably just declutter it. These are the two that I would reach for. First one is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. Mine is in the shade Light to Medium. This is really, really beautiful. It's got a very creamy emollient formula. This one doesn't necessarily cover your under eyes, but it brightens them up and it just kind of diffuses the light. I don't know. It's really, really interesting. It just once you put this on and then you put concealer on top, your eyes just look healthy. They look glowy. They're just really nice. It's just really, really lovely. I believe this is I'm pretty sure this is one of the products that got picked up by, is it Sigma? Is it Smashbox? Which is the one where, they pretended like they were going out of business, but surprise, we're actually being picked up by whatever brand it was, either Smashbox or Sigma, I believe. This is one of the products that I'm pretty sure got picked up by them. And then the other one, this one is more of a full-on sorry, my kids are playing video games. This one is a full-on corrector. This is Charlotte Tilbury. I don't think it has an actual name. It's just their color corrector, and this is in the shade One Fair. This one is really nice. I got the small size. I don't know if they even make this in a full size. Do they only do this in minis? I don't know, but I got the mini because I just wanted to try it out, and I didn't want to pay for the full size because their products are pretty expensive. But this small size is perfect. It's going to last forever. This has a really interesting formula. If you can see around the edges, where I haven't touched yet, it's like a powder finish, but then once you put your finger in it, it turns to cream. It's really interesting. This one covers really nicely. It really does cover your circles, and it's very creamy. It's not as hydrating as this. This one is full on hydration. This one isn't dry by any means, but it's not, like I said, it's not as hydrating as that one. Really nice. This covers nicely, and I enjoy it. Okay, now for concealer. Concealer is the one category that I really just don't have my holy grail concealer. I have a lot of concealers that I like, that I've used over the years, but there's no one concealer that just sticks out in my mind as this is my favorite. I do have 3 new ones that I'm currently using that I have been really enjoying, and maybe they might become, one of them might become my holy grail, but for now, I'm just still testing them. But all my other concealers that I have, nothing just truly speaks to me. I'm going to share with you kind of like like an honorable mention. This one has a very specific use, and I have repurchased one several times. This is a Maybelline Fit Me. Mine is in the shade 15 Fair. This one is more like a light to medium coverage. This one I use when for work. So, you know, I'm wearing a mask at work, so I don't put makeup on my face, but I do need to cover my under eyes because I do have very prominent purple under eyes, and I don't want to look like a zombie. So this one gives me light coverage, gives me just enough coverage to kind of conceal a little bit, but without looking like I'm full on wearing makeup. Because I don't want to, you know, like, I guess it really doesn't matter because they don't really see my face, but I don't, because I'm not wearing makeup here, I don't want my under eyes to look crazy. Like, oh, she's got full coverage concealer, but then the rest of her face is naked. Anyways, this one I like to wear for work. It's, like I said, light to medium coverage, looks really nice under the eyes, it's not drying. It's not full coverage by any means. I don't know that you can necessarily get this full coverage, but I do really like this one. And I've repurchased one several times over the years. So this one I kind of give like an honorable mention. Okay, now the three that I'm currently using that I do really enjoy, but like I said, I don't know if I love them yet. Concealers take me a lot longer to get a feeling for, you know, how I feel about them. First one is the Liquid Camouflage by Catrice. This one is in the shade 005 Light Natural. So far I really like this one. It seems to be full coverage without being like cakey. It's called High Coverage Concealer. Liquid high coverage and ultra long lasting concealer perfectly camouflages under eye circles, spots, and even tattoos, which I haven't tested out because I don't have tattoos. But I like this one. I don't know, to be honest, of these three, I don't know which one is my favorite. So when I do my get ready with me, I have no idea which one I'm going to pick. Okay, second one that I've been trying recently, I got this the same time. So the reason I got the foundation is because I got the Nars Concealer. This one is their creamy one. What is this one? What's it called? Radiant Creamy Concealer. And this one is in the shade Light 2, Vanilla. So they're both Light 2, but they have different names. So I picked up the mini because I wanted to try them. I don't have a ton of, until recently, I didn't have a ton of Nars products, and I really wanted to try some. So I picked up a concealer. I really liked the concealer, so I went out and got the foundation. So I do really like this concealer. I ended up, when I went to get the foundation, I ended up getting a full size, and I keep the mini in my purse. I do really like it. It is radiant. It looks nice. It's not heavy. It's not cakey. I use it to spot conceal. It looks nice. Like I said, it takes me longer to know if I love a concealer, but I do really enjoy this. I liked it enough to pick up the full size. So as of now, I'm really enjoying this one. Okay, and the next one, this one also is pretty new to me. This is the Fenty Beauty. Does it have a name? Your Covered Liquid Concealer, and this one is in the shade Ivory. Now this one, okay, so again, this is at the Dollar General. It's only $5. So I got the first one. I want to say I got the shade lighter than this. And the first time I used it, the doe foot like broke off, and I was like, what? So I went on their website and I read reviews, and apparently the page that like talks about concealers, it's hard to find reviews about Fenty Beauty, first of all. But the page is just full of comments saying the doe foot applicator broke off, the doe foot applicator broke off. There's like almost every single comment under their concealer page was talking about how the doe foot applicator broke off. So I went back and bought a second one, and I was concerned that it was gonna break off again. I ended up getting the next shade up, Ivory. This one I think is a much better formula. This one so far, the doe foot has not broken off. So packaging apparently sucks. Formula, I do really enjoy this. I don't know that this is ever gonna become my holy grail. I don't know, I might probably like these. I probably like these ones a little bit more, but this one is really nice. The formula is lovely. The packaging though just kind of deters me from wanting to say that this would ever really be a holy grail, because every time I use this, I'm always afraid that the doe foot is gonna break off. And so the first one, it broke off, and all you're left with is just the pointy stick. And I don't know how I would be able to apply it after that. Okay, the next category is powders. So the first one, this one is hands down my most used powder. This is actually my second one. This is Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. This one is in the shade 105 Fair Ivory. This is my second one. It's almost done. I already have a third one. So the first time I bought this, I bought translucent. And then the second time I bought it, I bought 105 Fair Ivory because I was intending to use this. You can use this as, I believe you can use this as a foundation. That's why they're colors. I never ended up doing that. I just use this as a setting powder. So the third one that I bought, I went back to translucent. This one just looks so good on my skin. It's mattifying. So this is what I use when, like with this one, I make sure I use a good amount of this to just really press it into my skin. It just looks so good. This is one powder that I can use on my face and under my eyes. I don't use this under my eyes unless, like if I'm traveling, I don't want to bring too many products, I'll bring this, and I can get away with using this under my eyes, but I have more luminous powders that I prefer to use under my eyes. But this one I can get away with under my eyes. I love it. It looks so good. It has a little sponge that I do use. I use this one kind of to press it into my chin and my nose, which are my oily areas. And then I use a fluffier brush, and then I just on the rest of my face. I love this. I will continue to repurchase this one. This one is just my favorite mattifying powder. Now for luminous, this one is new to me and I love it. This is Nars. I just recently started getting into Nars, and everything I've tried I've really loved. This one is, sorry, I'm trying not to like touch my microphone, but my hair keeps falling forward. What was I saying? This one is Translucent Crystal, light reflecting setting powder, pressed. Oh yeah, then it's just another language. I got the mini to try, and when I finish this one, I will definitely be buying the full size. This one is just so beautiful. It's got light reflecting particles that kind of look like tiny sparkles, but on, like it's a sheen, but on the skin, you don't see, like it's not sparkly. These are kind of similar to the Hourglass powders in where it's like light diffusing. It's not really going to give you coverage, so it's not like this. You could use this for coverage. It's not really going to give you coverage. I wouldn't use this to like spot conceal or anything like that. So what I do with this is I do it under my eyes, and my under eyes look amazing. I am wearing it today. My under eyes just look amazing. It sets them really, like makes them look radiant without looking like shiny or anything like that. Keeps them from looking dry. So beautiful. And then what I do is I will use it on my cheeks and I will use it on my forehead. And then I will set my nose and my chin with this because I am, like I said, oily combination. So I could get away with using this on my full face, but then my nose and my chin will end up being, you know, a lot more shiny and greasy throughout the day. So yes, I do end up using two different powders on my face, which, you know, if I have the time, that's not really a big deal to me. Love this, and I will definitely purchase the full size when I finish with this one. Or maybe in the future I might end up just putting this in my purse and then getting a full size. Okay, so the third one is technically a foundation, but I do use it sometimes when I'm using a more lighter coverage foundation, and I can use this one to kind of amp up the coverage, but you can use this as like a setting powder if you use a really fluffy brush. This is a Makeup Forever Professional Paris Matte Velvet Skin, and mine is in the shade Y215. And I love, first of all, I could have easily picked this as my third favorite for foundation and got rid of this one, but I store this with my powder, so I chose to just use this as my powder category. This is amazing. When you do build this up as foundation, it just looks amazing on the skin. I'm pretty sure I did a get ready with me using this. Beautiful on the skin. I can use this, like I said, to just with a really fluffy brush. I can use this as a setting powder all over my skin. I use this under my eyes. This one is another one that I can use under my eyes or on my full face. So when I use this as a foundation, I do on my full face, and I also set it with my under eyes. Beautiful. Looks so good. Full coverage without looking excuse me, without looking cakey. It's just, I don't know, I've never come across a powder foundation like this, and it's just amazing. I just now realized, I guess it pops out, so I guess you can buy a refill and not have to pay for the full packaging again. I didn't know that. I've never seen these powders sold separately, so I'm gonna have to look into that. Anyways, you can use this. I don't really use this, but anyways, love this, and I will repurchase this. And this is probably going forward, this is really the only powder foundation that I would ever purchase again. Okay, sorry guys, this is gonna be a longer video. A lot of you have told me recently that you don't mind longer videos, so hopefully you don't mind this. All right, bronzers. Bronzers, they're all, I guess you consider these all drugstores. First one is technically not a bronzer. It's Rimmel London Stay Matte Powder. Mine is in the shade 21 Nude. So this one I got a few years ago because Jamie Page did a video where she compared this powder foundation, or setting powder, I guess it's a setting powder. Yeah, I think it would be considered a setting powder. But she compared this shade and the formula to a very expensive Marc Jacobs bronzer, and saying that they were complete dupes. So I ran out to get this. I actually couldn't find this in any store. I had to order this on Amazon because this shade was sold out everywhere. So I ended up getting this online. I love this. It looks really beautiful on the skin. It is matte, but it's not drying. It's the perfect shade. Really, really enjoy this. And it's only, I don't remember how much this was, but Rimmel products aren't terribly expensive, so I'm sure it was under $10. Okay, then we have the number 7. Actually, the number 7 would probably be my third, and this would be my second. And then the number 7, what is this called? Number 7 Golden Sand Bronzer. I like this one. I don't get as much use out of it as I used to, but I do really enjoy this one. I reach for this one just so that I can, use it in my products. This is a really nice one. It's got a nice formula. Looks really good on the skin. It's a good color match for me, and I do enjoy the number 7 products, a couple that I've tried. All right, my number 1 would be Take Home the Bronze Anti-Orange Bronzer in the shade Oliver. First of all, look how cute this is. It's just adorable. The color, it's anti-orange. Color match is perfect for me. It's cute. It's got a little mirror. I really enjoy the the experience of using this. The one thing I will say about this is it got hard pan almost immediately. Like, I only had it for probably like a month and it already had gotten hard pan. And I did the tape method where you use tape to peel up all the hard pan. I've had to do that several times, and then recently I ended up just taking a clean bobby pin and just scratching off all the hard pan because even tape wasn't getting rid of the hard pan. So I don't know why it gets hard pan so quickly, and I don't know if it's just this one. And I wouldn't say it's because it's old, because it did it like when I first got it. So I don't know, that's kind of a bummer, but I really love the formula on this, and it's just, I don't know, I love everything about it. Okay, then foundation, blushes. All right, so first formula is going to be the Essence Satin Touch. Now they only have 2 of these in, like, the formula that I really like is the Satin Touch blush. They only have 2. One is in the shade 10 Satin Coral, and then 20 Satin Love. These are just beautiful. They just look so good on the skin. It's like a little satin, so it's not matte, but it's not like sparkly or anything. They just look so gorgeous. And in the pan, they look like nothing. In fact, they look like they're almost the same. They look like nothing in the pan. Like, they're so boring, but once you get them on the skin, they're just beautiful. And these 2, well, there's only 2. I wish they'd come out with more in this formula. They have other blushes that come in like these little round packages, compacts, but I don't like them as much as these. These 2 are just beautiful, and they're like, what, $2, $3? And I wish they would make more, but these are just so good. Okay, and then my number 2 formula is going to be Viseart. I love my Viseart products, and their blushes are really good. So this is a bronzer, this is a highlighter, and then the rest are all blushes. I got this. This is called a kit pack. I bought this, and it holds all of my blushes perfectly. Now, honestly, 2 of these, this one and this one, are not Viseart. These ones are from an ABH trio compactor that I depotted, and I got rid of the 3rd shade. I love these. The formulation is different from their what am I trying to say? Different from their eyeshadows. Their eyeshadows are very pigmented right off the bat, easy to blend. These ones are less pigmented, easy to blend still, less pigmented. You have to, these are designed to build up. So you can start off really subtle if you want, and then you can build them up to the intensity that you want. It took me a little bit of time to realize that. I kept thinking like, why are their blushes so unpigmented, but their shadows are very pigmented? Once I figured that out, I just fell in love with them. They're so beautiful. They look so good on the skin. Such a nice color variety. They have more. These are just the ones that I have. Really, really beautiful. You can build them up to be as pigmented as they are in the pan, or like I said, you can have like a soft diffused look, and they're just beautiful. I love them. Okay, my number one blush formula at the moment is Nars. The blush formulas are actually what kind of prompted me to start trying other Nars products. So the first one that I've had for a couple years is the Nars Free Lover Cheek Palette. I got this one, I want to say 3 years ago now. It was one of their holiday palettes, because I had heard, I'd always been, this was the first Nars product that I ever had. I'd always heard that their holiday palettes, their quality is just as good as their individual products, but it's much more cost effective because, you know, it's a holiday price. So I ended up getting this one a couple years ago and fell in love with the formula. They're so beautiful. This one is a highlighter. I don't love the highlighter. I'll use it, but I don't love it. But I love the formula. It's just so good. Very pigmented, blends out easily. Even this dark shade I can use looks beautiful on the skin. You just use a tiny bit and then diffuse it with a fluffy brush, and it just looks beautiful. So this one I've had for a couple years and absolutely loved. And then like a month ago, so at the same time I kind of got the others. They have another palette that I've been eyeing, but I never got, and then it was on clearance at Ulta, like 40% off. I believe it's because it's limited edition. Their palettes are limited edition. And I was like, I love the other one so much, let me just, now that it's on sale, it's 40% off, let me just get it. So I got the Afterglow palette. Their palettes are really hard to open, by the way. Fell in love with this. It is so beautiful. This one is very shimmery. So that one you just like a tiny bit, and you just kind of like diffuse it with, like as another main one, just kind of diffuse it around the edges, and it just gives you like a beautiful, like bronzy glow. This one is a highlighter. This one, I do enjoy this highlighter a lot more than the other one, but the standouts are the blushes. Even this one honestly looks amazing on my skin. So beautiful. I absolutely love these two products. And because I was so in love with these blushes, that's when I decided to let me try some more of their products. And that's when I ended up with the concealer and the foundation. And I'm so glad. Okay, next category would be highlighters. Okay, so my third favorite used to be a favorite, but I'm not as in love with this brand as I used to be. But I still do really enjoy this product. So this is my third. This is the Becca, and this one is in the shade Moonstone. Really, really nice. I have the mini. I'm never gonna go through this one. But it is a really nice formula. It looks nice on the skin. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just, I have the other two that I like more. Okay, these two, honestly, they're tied. I love them both equally for different reasons. So when I do my Get Ready With Me, I don't know which one I'm gonna choose. Second one is Fenty Beauty. This is their duo. This one is in the shade Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal, and it's their kilowatt formula. So one side is meant to be more like bam in your face, and then the second side is more subtle. So I actually had another one of these. I'm sorry. I actually had another one of these, and I did not like it. First of all, the color was just way too dark for me, and a lot of times with like highlighters, if the color is way off, it's hard for me to really get a feel for the formula because all I can see is the color. But I could tell that the formula wasn't quite my favorite, and then I just kept seeing this one, and when I would swatch it at Sephora, the formula just felt so different than the other one, even though it's supposedly the same like kilowatt, but I don't know, something is different about this one, and I love it. It looks so good. Usually what I do is I will just mix them both together, and it just looks beautiful on the skin. It's not too metallic, and this is a perfect color for me. It's not too gold. It's just really beautiful on the skin, and I really enjoy this one. Okay, and the other one is my Hourglass Ambient Incandescent Strobe Light. Incandescent Strobe Light, I think, is the color, and then it's the Ambient Strobe Lighting. This is so beautiful. I love this. I have the mini one. This one gives a very soft, diffused look. So this one is a little more intense than this one. So that's why I said, like, I like them both, but for different reasons. So if I want to have like a more soft, natural look, then I will go for this one. It's just so beautiful. The Hourglass powders are just, they're beautiful. They just look so good. They just diffuse the light, and they just look natural, healthy, and they're just beautiful. I really, really love this one. Okay, then the last step for my face would be setting spray. My number one, well, I'm sure you can guess, the three that I use the most. So Makeup Revolution Matte Fix Oil Control Fixing Spray. I like this one. Works really nice. It's not my favorite. My favorite, I'll show you in a minute. This one I use for a very specific reason. This is the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. You know, this has been around for years and years and years. I use this one if my face is just looking a little too much. Like if it just needs to be toned down a little bit, I will spray this one on my face. This one is not a setting spray, it's a finishing spray. So this one just finishes off your makeup, blends everything together, and just lets, you know, the makeup fuse together and just looks really beautiful on the skin. Every time I use this one, I don't use this all the time. Like I said, I only use this when my face is just looking a little too much. Every time I use this, I will still use my setting spray and my favorite finishing spray. Setting spray. This one is actually labeled as a finishing spray as well, but this one is a setting spray. This one really does hold your makeup. Is the Scandinavia Makeup Finishing Spray Oil Control. This is hands down my holy grail. I love this one. The oil control one. They have several versions. They have like a bridal version. I believe they have like a dewy. They do have a dewy version. This is my favorite. I love this. Hands down. Like I like it more than this one. This one I still use because it's cheap, and you know, you can get it at the drugstore. This one you do have to buy online, but this is just my favorite. I've repurchased one multiple times. Okay, everyone. So that was part one. Part two is going to be my eye products and then my lip products. So keep an eye out for that one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.